Hey guys, welcome back! As some of you know, I recently moved location and didn't have any of my recording equipment set up, hence the long delay between videos, but I'm all set up in my new office and have loads of good content coming your way soon. Starting off with this video, which was requested by my highest tiered patron, DRAKON, and when you enter that tier, you get to choose a slipping out episode of your choice. So Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness it is. Now, I will be honest with you, it wasn't the easiest video to make because there wasn't too much out there to find after the first level, but as always I have done my best, so I hope you all enjoy the video, especially you DRAKON. So to start off with, we enter the training level, and at the start of this level we can find this gate, but beyond the gate we can also see an area of the level that we never get to enter, and that's because the gate is locked, as you can see. But never fear, Slippy is here and I'm going to show you exactly what's beyond this gate, because in fact there is a whole section of the level that was cut from the final game, and interestingly you can still activate some of the original training dialogue.
I can crawl through that gap in the fence. To crawl, press and hold the duck button. Then use the left analog stick to move me around. I need to get to the end of that alleyway. There's police everywhere, so I need to move quietly. Tap the stealth button, and then use the left analog stick to move me around. I must get down this alleyway unnoticed.
Now, if you do want to visit this location for yourselves and you have no idea how I got here, I'm going to show you a simple way that any of you guys can get here later in the video, and it's by using a very simple glitch within the game, so keep your eyes open for that. On entering the derelict apartment block, I was curious to know if the police banging on the door were actually outside. It turns out they are not. Hold on a minute, where did that chopper just appear from? Well, cleverly, the normal camera angle stops you from seeing it, but it spawns just behind the building. Whilst we're on the subject of the chopper, I took a quick look inside, and believe it or not, there are lighting effects to look like a basic instrument panel, although from the outside you don't get to see these. I also thought this would be a good opportunity just to take a quick look over the whole map and show you guys what it looks like from up here. For those of you who have played this game, you'll probably know that if you stand around in Margaret's apartment too long, then we get this shot of a police car arriving outside. A little longer and we get to see the police arrive at the front door. Eventually, if we stay even longer, Lara gets arrested and it's game over.
Haut les mains! Plus un geste.
So naturally, there were a few things that I wanted to take a look at during this scene. Firstly, where does the police car come from? Well, if we take a quick look outside, we can find it waiting just around this corner at the bottom of the street. I also noticed whilst exploring this area this front door mat with what looks like a child's drawing of a moo cow. Now I couldn't find any way to see this during normal gameplay or any of the cutscenes, but I was wondering if it could be a picture that maybe one of the children of a developer had drawn and it was added in. How cool would that be? Also in the cutscene we saw earlier, you may have noticed this door in the background, but if we go through we find it's a secret door hidden behind the bookcase in the living room. Or is it just there for effect during the cutscene rather than leaving a blank wall? I'll let you decide. Like with most games, the only parts of the map that are loaded up are the current parts we're located inside or can see just out of bounds, and this Tomb Raider title is no exception to that, which is the reason I'm not going to be showing you too much out of bounds footage, because it's pointless as there is nothing really out there to see that you can't already. For example, most locked doors that we can't enter have nothing beyond them, the only exceptions I'll show later in the video. Alright guys, we are up to the point in the video I was talking about earlier where if you want to explore the unused training section in level 1, here's how to. When you get to this fire escape point on the level The Serpent Rogue, first of all, save your game. Then you can always get back to this point. Now all you need to do is get down on all fours and start to crawl around the edge of the balcony just to the right hand side of the door we came out of. I'm not joking, this actually works. Now if you hit the sweet spot, you'll see the Parisian backstreets level start to load up. Weird little glitch, I know. However, this time, once you get to the end of this level, rather than loading the cutscene to the derelict apartment building again, you'll be free to explore. How cool is that? I didn't find too many Easter eggs whilst exploring this Tomb Raider, but one that I did come across was whilst looking around inside St Eckhard's Church. It's actually in the entrance doorway on these posters showing boxing matches, and if you take a closer look you'll find the names are relevant to some of the development team, including the producer himself. Whilst I was exploring the storm drains, I noticed this grill down at the bottom of this corridor that stops us from entering the stairwell. Whether this was another small part of the map that was sectioned off before final release, I'm not too sure.
This is the place. Better check the map.
Here's a great little bug that might help any of you speedrunners of this game out there. When planting the bomb on the container, hold forward and repeatedly press the action button. Lara will repeat the action of planting the explosion, which will stop her from dying in the blast. It also means you don't have to jump back into the water, but instead quickly run to the exit of the level. On loading the next level, Lara will be all fixed and back to full energy. Just a quick look at where the guard we see walking past the window goes, just in case, like me, you were curious to find out. I'd imagine most of you can probably guess what happens, but I'll show you anyway. Boop! There he goes. Also, whilst we're here in the galleries, I just wanted to show you outside the hallway, because weirdly there are two skyboxes out here, which we don't always get to see in older games like this. During the mission Archaeological Dig, we use this computer to control an X-ray machine that scans the ground to find hidden bones and a symbol. So naturally I was interested to find out, are the bones really hidden under the ground? Now if we walk over the ground, as you can see, it is just a solid texture, so there's no seeing through it with the normal camera angles. But if we take a look under, then check it out. Yes, they are here, and I was genuinely surprised by this because for some reason I had it in my head they would only be here when we entered the X-ray machine screen. I have no idea why I thought that, I just did. So I thought it's pretty cool that they are always hidden under here. Then at the end of the mission, you never really get to see where the tunnel goes that we jump down. So here it is, and if you watch my Tomb Raider Legend episode, you may remember seeing a similar tunnel design at the end of one of the levels during that game. During the level The Hall of Seasons, we enter separate sections to the level, which makes it too large to cover all in this one video, but I will show you one of the sections called Wrath of the Beast, and I was interested to see where the floor comes from after we take the crystal out of the door, and it's actually hidden underneath the map and then floats up to form the floor. This is also the case in the lava section Sanctuary of Flame. At the start of Von Croy's apartment, when we pick up the gun, we hear some dramatic music. Then this assassin runs into the apartment to kill us. However, if we are quick enough and we run to the front door of the apartment, we can stop him in his tracks. Then by repeatedly punching him or shooting him, God mode would be recommended to do this, we can see him run off. Now rather than running through the front door and away down the corridor, we see him simply disappear. I guess the developers weren't thinking at the time that someone would come along and test this to see where he went. Skipping to the end of the level, we never really get to explore what's downstairs of the apartment building because the cutscene kicks in, so I thought it would be worth just showing you all where the cutscene takes place and what's down here, and by doing this we can even find the vehicle parked outside the back of the building. A little way into the level bio-research facility, on entering this room with the tanks, we see a short flyby of the camera, ending up with it showing us this weird bio-freak with long pointy claws thing breaking out of one of the tanks. Now the problem is, if you do kill this weird bio-freak with long pointy claws thing, you end up having to face 6 other enemy bugs that drop into the room. But there is a funny little glitch that can prevent all of this from happening, and all you need to do is come to this ledge, and when the bio-freak comes to slash you, just simply drop off. With a bit of luck, it'll now be stuck and you can carry on hassle free. Weirdly, on the mission Sanatorium, even though there is a door to the control room, you can't normally enter it. However, inside, there is some chocolate that's collectible. My guess is the developers either forgot to make the door able to open, or they locked this off on purpose but then forgot to remove the chocolate. I guess we'll never know. But that's not the only room in this level that's been locked off. There is also this room that's attached to the laboratory at the end of the corridor. Now I've teleported my character into this room, but you can see by the way I'm walking through the objects that I'm not supposed to be in here. It's also possible to clip through the wall back into the lab. Maximum Containment Area also has a strange corridor hidden away that we never enter, and actually we can't even see, so I couldn't really think of a reason for it to be here. It also gives me the heebie-jeebies being in this place. And I can't forget to mention this redundant lift shaft. Again, I do wonder if this was at one time going to be used but then dropped from the game. It certainly looks that way, as there is a hole in the wall at the top for a doorway. To finish off the episode, I've skipped ahead to the final boss fight, as it seems like a good place to end, and just outside the back of the map I found one of the strangest and most out of place things I found during exploring of this whole game. It's not so much this jumble of rocks and walkways, which I don't remember ever seeing during the level or any of the cutscenes for that matter, but come and take a look at this. For some bizarre reason out here, we can find a wall-mounted candle. How random, especially being as, again, I'm pretty sure this has nothing to do with the level. Just before I go, here's a top tip that you can use in the last fight to make it incredibly easy. All you need to do is crawl around on your belly whilst Eckhart throws his lightning at you. This way he can never hit you with it. Now just wait until he runs to the centre circle, and by standing between the two circles where I am now, you won't ever get hit by the lightning. Then all you need to do is go for the punch to the face. Repeat this same process whilst he throws fire, and use the same technique even whilst against Norman Osborn. Carell, my apologies. And you'll be able to complete the whole fight with relative ease. And on that note, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I certainly hope you've all enjoyed it, especially you, Draken, and thank you for your contributions and support. I hope to catch you all back here soon for the next video, but until then you can contact me on the social media sites listed in the description. For now, and as always, take care guys.